Today, we're tackling a super frustrating, totally exhausting issue that honestly plagues so many of us, ruining our energy before the sun even comes up. If you've been desperately searching for a way to stop waking up at night to pee, you are in the right place. We're going to look at a urologist's water drinking tips that are, frankly, a total game changer. So let's dive right in because I'm going to reveal a highly counterintuitive hydration strategy that can finally get you back to enjoying uninterrupted sleep.
Picture this. It's 2 a.m. You're stumbling to the bathroom in the pitch dark, again, basically just praying you don't step on the dog or stub your toe, right? I mean, I know you can literally feel the exhaustion just thinking about it. You eventually stumble back to bed, totally frustrated, staring at the ceiling, knowing your next day is already kinda ruined. For years, there's been this widespread misconception that this miserable 2 a.m. wake-up call is just, well, an inevitable part of getting older, something you just have to grin and bear. But what if I told you that the secret to sleeping through the night might have absolutely nothing to do with your age and literally everything to do with when you drink your water?
And hey, if you think you're the only one dealing with this nightly march down the hallway, think again. Studies show that nearly 40% of adults over 50 regularly experience these nighttime bathroom trips. 40%! So you are definitely not alone in this struggle. But, as we're going to see today, just because something is super common, that doesn't mean you have to accept it as your normal. No way!
All right, let's move on to Section 1, the science of nocturia, and look at exactly why this happens. So, just to get our vocabulary straight right off the bat, nocturia is the official medical term for waking up multiple times during the night to urinate. The absolutely crucial thing to grasp here is that these trips, they aren't just random bad luck. Actually, in the vast majority of cases, nocturia is a direct symptom of our daily habits. Habits that, believe it or not, you actually have complete control over.
Let's compare how your body is actually supposed to handle fluids. Basically, your body operates on a 24-hour circadian clock. During the day, your kidneys are highly active. They're efficiently filtering fluids. But at night, your system produces a hormone called ADH, or antidiuretic hormone. Now, ADH acts like a chemical signal, basically telling your kidneys to intentionally slow down urine production so you can actually get some rest. And you know, that is exactly how a healthy, functional system is supposed to operate.
So, where do things go so wrong for so many of us? Well, our urologist source puts it pretty bluntly. Quote, "When you flood your system with fluid in the evening, your kidneys have to work overtime." End quote. And this totally exposes the massive mistake most of us are making. Think about it. We come home from work, we grab a huge glass of water, we're sipping beverages while watching TV, and then maybe we have another full glass right before bed just to, stay hydrated. Guys, we are literally forcing our resting kidneys to work the night shift.
Moving right along to Section 2, the hydration timing strategy. Because when it comes to this, timing is everything.
Okay, here is the wildly counterintuitive solution that actually fixes the problem. It's called front-loading your hydration. The idea is that you need to consume about 60 to 70% of your total daily fluid intake before 3 p.m. That leaves only about 30% for the entire rest of the day. It completely flips the typical modern drinking schedule totally upside down, doesn't it?
Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. Wait, when I get dangerously dehydrated while I sleep? Honestly, you do not need to worry about that at all. Your body is incredibly efficient at storing fluid. 8 full hours of sleep without water is not going to dehydrate you, provided, of course, that you front-loaded those fluids during the daytime. And here's a huge bonus. Fixing this issue actually supports your broader metabolic function. By finally sleeping through the night, you're looking at an improved metabolism, a significantly stronger immune system, and, let's be real, a much better mood. So you aren't sacrificing hydration here, you are actually unlocking better health overall.
All right, let's jump into Section 3, caffeine, alcohol, and some of the other hidden culprits.
So caffeine. It is a powerful diuretic with surprisingly long-lasting effects. It's actively signaling your kidneys to produce more urine. Let's say you drink a quick cup of coffee at 2 p.m. By 4 p.m., those diuretic effects are highly active. But look at 6 p.m., your kidneys are still being forced to produce extra urine. That innocent little 2 p.m. afternoon pick-me-up, yeah, it's actively creating an evening bladder issue. The recommendation here from the pros is strict but super effective. You need an absolute caffeine cutoff at 2 p.m.
Then there are some other common culprits we tend to consume in the evening. Take a glass of wine or a beer with dinner, for example. It doesn't just increase your urine volume, it literally suppresses your natural ADH production. And remember, that's the exact hormone that's supposed to prevent nighttime urination. Meanwhile, a heavy, salty dinner or highly acidic foods like citrus and tomatoes, those physically irritate the bladder and create the absolute perfect storm for nighttime urgency.
We also really have to look at how we treat our bladders during the daytime. You have to stop going just in case. Did you know that a normal bladder capacity is actually somewhere between 400 and 600 milliliters? That's quite a bit. If you're going to the bathroom every hour during the day just in case, you are actively conditioning and training your bladder to expect emptying long before it's actually full. And that overactive bladder training, it carries right over into your sleep, causing you to wake up for literally no good reason.
Now, it's really important that we cover this next point impartially, because we always need to be smart about our health. While most nocturia is totally related to fluid timing, there are definitely some red flags where it might signal a more serious medical condition that requires a doctor's attention. If you're consistently waking up more than 2 times a night, if this issue came on suddenly out of nowhere, or if you have symptoms of diabetes, an enlarged prostate, urinary tract infections, or heart problems, please consult a medical professional. Nocturia can sometimes be a window into other health issues like sleep apnea or kidney problems, so it's always worth getting checked out for sure if these red flags apply to you.
Okay, moving on to Section 4, your step-by-step action plan.
All right, let's dive right into this chronological protocol, which is drawn directly from our urologist source. Step 1, the morning glass. Wake up and drink a large glass of water right away to kick off that whole front-loading process. Step 2, the 2 p.m. caffeine cutoff. And I mean no exceptions. Switch to a quick stretch or some deep breathing if you really need an afternoon boost. Step 3, the 3 p.m. water taper. By 3 p.m., you should have already hit 70% of your daily intake, and you heavily reduce your drinking from here on out. And finally, Step 4, the 2-hour bedtime fast. Stop consuming fluids entirely 2 hours before bed, taking only tiny sips if it's absolutely necessary.
Now, as you start doing this, we do need to manage your expectations just a bit. You might not see a flawless night's sleep tonight, or even tomorrow. Honestly, it generally takes about 2 to 3 weeks for your biological rhythm to fully adjust to this new front-loaded hydration schedule. So just give your body a couple of weeks to adapt to the new rhythm and be patient with yourself during the process. It's totally worth the wait. As we wrap up, just a quick disclaimer that this explainer is strictly for educational purposes and isn't intended as medical advice. But I do want to leave you with a rather provocative question to chew on today. What will you do with your first full night of uninterrupted sleep? Seriously, imagine waking up truly refreshed, with a totally full tank of energy, ready to just take on the day, all because you finally took control of your hydration timing. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today. And hey, here's to a fantastic uninterrupted night's sleep.